Hi guys, and welcome to another episode with Bufflunch. And today we're at Jimmy's Spices, an all-you-can-eat buffet with a great selection of different cuisines. Oh. The decor here is absolutely amazing. They've got plants hanging, they've got the nice lights, and it's just a pleasant place to be in. Now the kitchen area is right in the middle and you can just see everything being made. They've got every type of food you can imagine from different cuisines. They've got the stir fries, they've got the Indian food, they've got the barbecues, they've got the pizzas. Everything's made fresh in front of you. They've got a good selection of desserts. Most of it's getting made in-house. They've got a salad bar with a selection of different salads that you can accompany with your main dishes. The view outside is great. You can see some clock towers, you can see some nice architecture around you. Now the important thing with a buffet is when you leave the food out for a while, it can go stale or it's not so nice after a few minutes. But because they make everything fresh here and a lot of the food is actually made to order, it's just the perfect balance of all-you-can-eat buffet with fresh quality food. We're gonna try a lot of the dishes today. We're gonna show you how they prepare it, and we're just gonna get a large variety of things to see how they taste. Now I've gone for the sardine fish and the beef steak and some of those mushrooms in the corner. So at this station here, you actually pick the noodles and the vegetables, and then you pick what protein you want and which sauce you want to go with it. You actually put it on your own plate and then you give it to them for them to stir fry it. I'll go with these noodles. Go with some mushrooms. Get some veggies. And I'll get some shrimp. And I'll get some beef. Thank you, boss.
Thank you.
So I've actually gone for the chili garlic sauce. Wow, that's some amazing technique. Thank you very much, boss. Thank you. That was fun to watch. Thank you. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much.
I'm actually gonna let the steak rest for a little bit. I'm gonna try the fish just because it's fresh from the grill. You can definitely smell the different spices that fish has been marinated in. Super tender. The smokiness from the grill comes through, and it's actually a masala marinade, I believe, that they put on it. It's soaked up all that marinade. The exterior is crispy, the inside is soft, breaks apart nicely in your mouth. I'm gonna go for a bit of the mushrooms to accompany with the fish. Spicy, a lot spicier than the fish. Again, they've got a nice char from the grill. The exterior is slightly crispy, but the mushrooms nicely chewy and spongy. I like the mushrooms a lot. I believe with the steak, they just put a bit of black pepper on there. Very nicely charred. It's tender, but that char definitely brings out the flavor of the steak. And I actually love my steaks cooked over fire. I believe it just adds another dimension to the taste. Now I'm gonna try the noodles. I'm gonna get some shrimp. I'm gonna get some beef. A lot of times I'm putting these big mouthfuls in my mouth and it's dropping out because I'm trying to get all the flavors in one bite to experience it fully. That's actually so surprising. You guys remember when you was doing the technique, the fire just engulfed the pan, and you can actually taste that fire on the noodles, on the veggies, on the meat, and it's such a lovely flavor. The noodles are perfectly cooked. They've still got a chew to them. They're not super soft. You want that bite to the noodles. The beef, very tender. The prawns, obviously you cooked it for minutes, not overcooked. And the veggies, nice and crunchy and fresh. And that chili and garlic sauce, it's got a nice kick to it. The garlic definitely comes through. But for me, I love spicy food anyway. Mostly the spicier, the better. But that's a really nice combo. So I love that noodle dish. Now, while we were recording, I watched something being made. It was like a crepe. with some ingredients inside, and I really want to try this. I'm going to order that one next. This is actually a savory crepe that's called a dosa, and they fill it with these marinated potatoes. So I'm quite excited to try this one. Thank you very much. So I've got to go for the dosa first, just because I feel like the longer I leave that, the more the texture will change. It's crispy on the outside. You've got the grill that's just made that super crispy. And I'm just gonna cut into it. Oh, it was so fluffy. As soon as I cut it, it's like you just burst the balloon. Very unique texture with some herbs, some lentils I see in there. Oh man. I've actually never had this before. The potatoes are very uniquely spiced. It's not spicy at all. Maybe it's got a slight hint in the background, but that dosa, when you bite into it, it's crispy, but so airy and fluffy, and it just holds everything so well. A normal crepe might not hold up like this, and maybe the flavors that are in there just making it seem so special to me, but it's definitely one you should try. Oh, I love that. Next, I'll go for the chicken tikka. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it as well so I can show you a cross section of the chicken tikka. This was the one on the grill that was being prepared behind the dosa. And as you can see, the marinade has actually seeped through the meat and it's just soaked right in. Wow. It's got a nice char on the outside, really well cooked. It actually takes for them about 20 minutes to cook one skewer. Definitely worth the wait. The flavor is phenomenal. With this type of plate, you've got the paneer, you've got the handi gosht, and you've got the butter chicken. You'd normally have this with rice, some naan. I'm gonna go for the paneer first, and that's just cottage cheese with the different spices. So the paneer, I think it's pronounced paneer, but it's soaked up so much of that juice. It's spongy, the onion comes in, the spices come through, the tomato sauce is rich. Now for the butter chicken, as you can see, it's just falling apart. Very smooth sauce, chicken super tender, and the sauce is quite mild, slightly spicy, very buttery, as the name suggests. You can add any meat to that sauce and it will taste absolutely great. Now the handi gosht. So it's basically lamb on the bone with some spices, some tomato sauce. Oh, oh. Listen, that lamb falls apart straight away in your mouth. Like I said, I like spicy food and that's nice and spicy. The tomato sauce is super rich and it's got a lot of flavors packed in that sauce. You can give that to me as a main in a restaurant with some rice, I'll be happy. And what's amazing is you can eat as much of this as you want. Now with the big flavors that we're having today, I thought I'd get myself a cool drink, and the more you see me in these videos, you'd know certain things are my favorite. And a virgin mojito is actually one of my favorite drinks. And this is the apple virgin mojito. Let me just cleanse my palate so I can go for some more big flavors. Oh, super refreshing. And just set my palate up to go again. Now obviously there's a lot of different dishes I could try, but there's the wings, there's the rolls, there's the chips. But I'm gonna go for some things that you won't typically find in a buffet. So I'm gonna get this vegetable samosa and the onion bhaji. I'm gonna get the aloo tikki, which is basically a potato patty cooked with Indian spices. Now we watched this one be made and it just literally came out of the oven, so I've got to take a slice. Because the pizza was so fresh, I've just got to go for that first slice. Fresh charred vegetables straight out of the oven. The cheese is nicely melted. On the bottom, if you can see, crispy, and it holds everything together. You expect the fresh pizza out of the oven with those fresh ingredients to just stand out, and it definitely does. Now I know you guys are thinking, it's only just pizza. A lot of the buffets will give you pizza, but when it's coming out fresh like that and you're watching it being made, it just feels different. Gonna go for the vegetable samosa. Oh wow. I don't know if you can see, but the inside, there's a lot of herbs and spices accompanied with those vegetables that are basically ground into a paste. Pastry, super flaky, crispy on the outside, not too dense. Really like that. The onion bhaji. Batter is super light, crispy, airy. The crunch of the onions comes through. It's slightly spiced. Really, really good onion bhaji. Now this is the aloo tikki. It looks like a hash brown, but it's got different spices in there. There's some chilies in there. Again, the exterior is nicely crispy and it's really fluffy in the inside. And the spices are actually quite unique and it just coats your mouth quite well. This one's actually quite spicy. I really enjoyed that one. I'm gonna go for the Kung Pao chicken with the Chinese flavors. Oh. The good thing about this type of buffet is because there's so many different types of food from so many different regions, your taste buds is just experiencing a lot of different big flavors. That Kung Pao chicken is absolutely amazing. It's slightly sweet, there's some spiciness in there, there's some nuts on that. The chicken's really tender. Love that. Let's go for the hoisin beef. There's a lot of dishes that I've skipped just because we can't cram everything into one video and I just don't have the stomach space. But the main ones I'm gonna try as much as I can. And this was definitely one of the ones that was on my list. Again, a completely different flavor to the Kung Pao chicken. The hoisin comes through, the beef tender, nicely cooked. There's spring onions in there. The crunch of those come through. The sauce is silky, packed with flavor, and just goes really nicely with the beef. Not many buffets offer such a large variety of different dishes. And for me, because I like to snack at different foods, it's the perfect place to come. Because it doesn't mean you get bored with one style of food or you get one dish or you're constrained to just one type of menu. You've got so many different dishes from so many different cultures that it's just a real sensation for the taste buds. You've got such a large variety of drinks that you can order. And you know what? I actually can't wait for the desserts because I saw a few where it looked like it's going to be real good. Now I'm going to go for some dessert. I feel like that was a good enough selection of different dishes just to show you guys the experience that you have of them cooking the food right in front of you and the big flavors that you experience and the high quality of the meats and the products that they're using. They've got a massive selection of ice cream as well. They've got the coffee flavor, they've got the strawberry, they've got the mint chocolate chip, they've got the chocolate, they've got the sherbet flavors, they've got the vanilla, they've got the mango. I'm gonna go for the orange pudding first, as it's probably the most unique one. Slight taste of orange, super fluffy, real nice texture. And it's crispy on the top, really like that. It's not too sweet either. The gulab jamun, I'm sure everyone's had a gulab jamun. I'm just gonna do one bite. Really warm and soak some of that syrup up. But the syrup in here is actually not too sweet. A lot of places have such a sweet syrup that's off-putting, you only just have one. I'm gonna have this cake next. I believe it's a carrot cake, but I could be surprised. It's not a carrot cake. There's some nutty flavors in there. The cream in the middle is super fresh. Can't actually tell you what flavor cake that is. The velvet cake next. Again, the same texture as the orange cake. Really fluffy, nice cream in between, a little freshness. Oh, this one's got some raspberry sauce, some chocolate sauce on there, and different layers of cake and cream. Really spongy, real nice. Now we watched this one getting made, so I'm just gonna dip straight in. There's some pineapple at the bottom, some cream, some chocolate, and I'm even gonna get a cherry and go for a big mouthful. It's exactly what you'd expect. Nicely creamy, all the flavors coming together. Pineapple's fresh, and that cherry glaze, just cherry on top of the cake. And now for the pineapple cake. Slight hint of pineapple, but all the cakes here, freshly baked, high quality ingredients, all around great. So that's it for this episode. And I know a lot of people get put off going to a buffet because they don't expect the high quality dishes that they might find in a restaurant. But trust me when I tell you guys, give this place a try. You'll be pleasantly surprised as I was. Great food, big flavors, and I absolutely love this place. And I hope you guys give it a try too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment in the video as well. If there's a restaurant you'd like for us to visit, let us know and we'll try to get there, and we'll see you next time.